The world watched in horror as images of destruction emerged from Rafah. The recent conflict there sparked international outrage, leading the UN Security Council to convene for an emergency session. The gravity of the situation was undeniable, highlighting the urgent need for a peaceful resolution. The conflict in Rafah has far-reaching implications, underscoring the volatility of the region. The recent events in Rafah have sent shockwaves through the international community. The city, already scarred by years of conflict, finds itself at the heart of another humanitarian crisis. The international community grapples with the escalating situation. The UN Security Council meeting stands as a pivotal moment, as the world waits to see if diplomacy can pave a path forward. Rafah, a Palestinian city located on the Gaza Strip, has long been a flashpoint in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Its strategic location, bordering both Israel and Egypt, has made it a focal point of conflict and a site of humanitarian crises. The recent escalation of violence in Rafah is rooted in a long history of territorial disputes, political tensions, and security concerns. Understanding the complexities of the situation is crucial for navigating the path to peace. The roots of the conflict in Rafah can be traced back to the mid-20th century. The establishment of Israel in 1948 and the subsequent displacement of Palestinian populations created a legacy of resentment and instability. The Six-Day War in 1967 led to Israel's occupation of the Gaza Strip, including Rafah, further exacerbating tensions. Over the decades, numerous attempts at peace negotiations have faltered, leaving the underlying issues unresolved. The ongoing blockade of the Gaza Strip, in place since 2007, has significantly contributed to the humanitarian crisis in Rafah. The blockade, imposed by Israel and Egypt, restricts the movement of goods and people, severely impacting the lives of ordinary Palestinians. The lack of access to essential resources, including food, water, and medical supplies, has created dire living conditions for many residents of Rafah. The recent escalation of violence in Rafah underscores the fragility of the situation. The cycle of violence and retaliation only deepens existing wounds and pushes the prospect of a peaceful resolution further out of reach. The international community must work tirelessly to break this cycle and create the conditions necessary for meaningful dialogue and reconciliation. The UN Security Council, tasked with maintaining international peace and security, faces immense pressure to address the crisis in Rafah. The recent emergency session highlighted the deep divisions within the Council, reflecting the broader geopolitical complexities surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Despite these challenges, the UN Security Council remains a crucial platform for diplomacy and a potential catalyst for de-escalation. The Council's permanent members, the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom, hold veto power over any resolution. This often leads to gridlock, particularly on issues where their interests diverge. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has historically been one such issue, with the United States often seen as biased towards Israel. This dynamic has hampered the Council's ability to take decisive action in the past. Despite the challenges, the UN Security Council plays a vital role in shaping international responses to crises like the one in Rafah. The Council's resolutions, though often symbolic, carry significant weight and can influence the actions of states and international organizations. Moreover, the Council provides a platform for dialogue and diplomacy, even when immediate agreement seems unlikely. The current situation in Rafah demands a united and resolute response from the UN Security Council. The Council must prioritize the protection of civilians and work towards an immediate ceasefire. Furthermore, the Council should push for a resumption of meaningful peace negotiations between Israel and Palestine, with the aim of achieving a just and lasting solution. Section 4. The long road ahead calls for justice and lasting peace. The international community watches Rafah with a mix of anguish and hope. The calls for justice and accountability reverberate around the world. The need for a lasting peace is more pressing than ever. The path ahead is arduous, but the pursuit of peace must remain unwavering. The recent events in Rafah have reignited debates about international law and human rights. Many are calling for an independent investigation into potential war crimes and violations of international humanitarian law. the principles of accountability and justice are paramount in preventing future atrocities and ensuring lasting peace. The pursuit of a two-state solution with an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel remains the cornerstone of international efforts to resolve the conflict. However, achieving this goal requires overcoming significant obstacles, including settlements, security concerns, and mutual mistrust. The international community must remain steadfast in its support for a negotiated settlement that addresses the legitimate aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians. The road to peace in Rafah and the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict is long and arduous. It demands unwavering commitment from all parties involved and the unwavering support of the international community. The pursuit of peace is not a choice but an imperative, for the sake of present and future generations. Section 5. The Future of Diplomacy, Hope and Uncertainty. The UN Security Council meeting on Rafah serves as a crucial juncture in the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The world watches with a mixture of hope and uncertainty as diplomacy takes center stage. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but the potential rewards of a peaceful resolution are immense. The international community must seize this opportunity to re-energize diplomatic efforts and work towards a just and lasting peace. The focus should be on de-escalation, dialogue, and a renewed commitment to the two-state solution. The aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians for security, self-determination, and a brighter future should guide these efforts. The long-term effects of the recent events in Rafah remain to be seen. The crisis could serve as a wake-up call, prompting a renewed international commitment to peace. Conversely, it could further entrench existing divisions and lead to a hardening of positions, making a peaceful resolution even more elusive. The future of diplomacy in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict hinges on the choices made today. The international community must choose the path of dialogue, compromise, and a shared commitment to peace. The stakes are too high to accept anything less.